Hello YouTube, welcome back to another Alliance War video. So you can see here that we've managed to come up and match against Newn. So this is normally at least a common once a season occurrence, normally always twice a season. But just a quick disclaimer, we all know from Newn's videos, I know like Fintech's posting his, KT1's posting his, I think Infamous might be posting a few of theirs, Love Shack's posting theirs. They aren't really trying this season. They were going for the boycott. Unfortunately for the boycott, kind of didn't take on. But a lot of tier 1 alliances have kind of said that for some of them it's not worth pushing this season. So we know going into this war that the scores aren't going to be a proper representation of what Newn can do. So just bearing that in mind when we see the scores at the end of this war, that's just what it is. So I get given my assignments of CGR, 5-star Quake, and 5-star Magic. So obviously the last 2 wars I've died, and my officer's like, right, okay, sort this scrub out. Let's give him some 5 stars and make him realise that he actually can play this game. So hopefully, off the back of that, I can actually help out. We're going to go into this first fight here. Over 12 hours into the war, so I've gone to bed, woke up the next morning, I'm going to start doing these fights. Put a 6-hour 20% boost on, just ready to kind of do this and hopefully do a few more later fights on the same set of boosts if I can. Just because I'd rather do that and save myself some boosts where I can, especially this season. But there's going to be quite a few Quake fights in this war, so when the Quake fights appear, I'm going to just put like a little bit of text at the bottom of the screen, just showing that it's a Quake fight, it's at least 2 times speed, just so you can see a representation of the fights and how they've gone, in case you're wondering what's happening. So, anyway, we go into the CGR against King Groot here. So King Groot instantly loses his armor breaks to the Furies that he gets from the CGR. So that shrugs one of them off. With the power back boost doing this, you're going to see all these armor breaks just disappear, but then they come back, and because of how much damage the special 2 does anyway, you're going to see here that I throw the special 3 against Fintech's King Groot. And we're going to land back down from this in a second. Against Power Star 1s probably aren't required, but hey, it is what it is. Here I'm just going to parry and instantly hit him with a special 2. And this fight's done. So nothing to worry about. It is just what it is. These things happen. And then we're going to go up against this Arcus now here. So a very common placement. Just because he can be a little bit of a nightmare. He's pretty much always going to have a debuff on you. Being the Cold Snap, the Armor Break, the Incinerate, or the Poison. So it's always one or the other. And so we go into this. We instantly hit the heavy attack there. Now we get the light, and now we're just going to go in, throw the special 2. Because of the White Magneto pre-fight, we ended up guaranteeing the stun. And you can see here that I'm just going to throw the special 3 and be done with this Vision Arcus. So nice and simple. Again, I think if the champion dies and there was a chance to skip the animation of the special 3 or whatever, then that'd be nice. But I don't mind watching CGR special 3. I've not thrown it as many times as what I've thrown Dooms from using the Abyss or anything like that, so it's not too boring just yet. But anyway, I'm going to use a bit of energy, move up to this this Misty, but I'm not taking her, going nowhere near that fight. Yeah, that's not for me. I'll walk away. So it comes to a few hours later, and the people that we were relying on to move were actually just like away from the game, or busy, or having like real life stuff going off, and they weren't even responding on the messages that we were sending. So I just said, look, if you really want, the other guy was going to use Quake anyway, so I'll just Quake it. It's kind of a redemption story for me because I haven't used Quake in a very, very long time. So it's going to be a good test. Coming up against KT1's rank 3 Mr. Sinister here. So it's a good placement, especially because of their bans, because they did ban Warlock against us. So Warlock and Apocalypse were banned, so it's not like you could do anything with them champions. Nimrod's not really any good against Mr. Sinister. So we just use Quake for this. And we're going to go through here. And again, while I said, because these Quake fights are 2 times speed, I'm going to make it known, but I still want to include them. A lot of people find Quake fights really boring, and I completely understand, but I'd feel like I was kind of like letting everything down if I didn't include them, and then people asked questions about them and how, like, what happened with Quake and why was she brought in. So at least now I can show like visual evidence of me using her. I drop an input there, as you can see. Well, I drop a heavy, never mind an input. But it's fine. Like, we're not in any form of trouble. It just means that that combat regen boost that I used to keep me back at 100% with the half suicides that were on now means that I'm probably going to have to use a potion instead. But it is what it is. I can't change that now. These things happen. And it just meant that at least as the battle group we could start moving, because we had like 7 hours left and we weren't even technically out of section 1 yet. And yeah, so you can see here Mr. Sinister took about 2.5 to 3 minutes to do, but he goes down, and yeah, that's about it. All that fight was. So I'm just going to move over here. Oh, you can probably hear the cat rustling around in the background. I'm going to move over here, just use some energy so that the next guy can come and clear all of the section 2 pretty much with just the 1 set of energy. And now we're going to go into 2 more fights here. So I've got path 7 again in section 2. So again, with Warlock being banned, I actually think this is a really good placement for Apocalypse. But we've still got 5-star magic in the game. So sadly for a fellow YouTube streamer that I know, he really doesn't like it when I use magic. But I have to use her in this war again today. So at least this time it should go a little bit better than what happened in the previous couple of times that I've used her, where one was against the Mojo on Conflictor and the power lock just never ever stuck. But this time, as you can see, it's going pretty easily. We don't have anything to worry about. I've lost the bleed from the suicides already, so it's not like even if Apocalypse did get to a special, he'd be able to hit me with anything extra because of the damage over time that was sat on magic. And now we just got to lock this fight down. The main thing to remember with magic, and a few people have commented on this now, is the fact that if you end a combo with a light attack and then throw the special 2, for some reason, every so often the AI seems to be able to like stand up and block again quickly after the light attack. They recover and then you don't actually hit your special 2. Whereas if you throw the medium attack and then throw the special 2, they don't seem to ever get that chance to do it. So you can see here, even if I do 4-hit combos, I still constantly end it with a medium to throw the special 2 and finish the fight. So that was like 95-96% health finish. Pretty easy, pretty standard. Again, this is still 20% boosted, so not the max boost you can do. So if you really wanted to max boost and do these fights, like replicating them, you could do them quicker and easier than what I've just been doing them. Now this fight is obviously the biggest redemption thing for me. As soon as I saw it on the map, I just kind of rolled my eyes at the officers. But look, they wanted me to go through it, and they wanted me to show how I can do it with Quake. And we probably won't assign Falcon to it ever again. Just because it was a bit of a nightmare. And you're going to see here, that one was for Falcon. I even said that when I was doing the fight. I dropped that heavy, and it made me feel good because of what happened in the last war, when I sadly lost a attack bonus to this fight. But Quake's going to make this so much easier than what the Falcon would have done. And yes, like I said in the video, I could have left on suicides and stuff for Falcon and maybe got through it, but I didn't, and that's just what it is. But Quake here just, yeah, she makes this fight a doddle. Things animations are pretty nice and like steady to be able to Quake anyway. She's definitely one of them champions that if you practice her and you want to, say, pick a champion with relatively easy animations, just go and practice against Fing a few times. He kind of makes this a lot easier, and you can see there KO within just over a minute, and that's fine. I could have stole that storm. I did speak to the officers, but we said no, so I kept my hands off. If it was a war where we weren't pushing maybe as much, then I would have definitely stole it. So here we just got the final fight now against this Special 2 bias, or Unblockable Special 2, sorry, should I say, Mephisto. Very good placement again. It's just one of these ones where he could probably catch a few people out, especially with power gain, Mystic Dispersion and stuff like that being a huge thing now. And we're just going to go into this and quake it. At the time I was doing this, I was actually sat in Infamous from New Nation's YouTube live stream, and I realised after I'd done it, I was like, I should have just told him, and then they could have sat there on the screen, on the stream, watching it at the same time I was doing the fight. But I didn't, and I messed up. But yeah, we're going to get through this fight. This is the very final fight of the war for the whole alliance. So no pressure. There was no real pressure on me anyway because of the score. But I'd like to at least finish one war this season without dying. I would kind of appreciate that being the case. It's tough because we only left ourselves with like 20 minutes at the end of the actual war map to clear. But it is what it is. And you can see the Mephisto goes down. Full attack bonus, and Quake's done the job. So you can see there, we went 50 to 2, they went 50 to 9. Again, for an alliance not pushing, they've done a fantastic job. And then it was 150 to 46 and 150 to 5, I believe it was. So good job to New Nation. Hope they get what they want out of the season, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.